My child, listen carefully. There's a reason your spirit feels restless tonight. Someone has been fighting against your peace in silence, and heaven could not allow you to keep walking without this warning. The attacks around your family were never random. The distance between you and the one your heart still holds was not simply coincidence. God is uncovering hidden warfare connected to your love story right now. Before this message continues, if your soul already feels this deeply, comment, "God is protecting my connection," like this video, and subscribe as an act of faith that you trust what heaven is revealing today. My child, stop right now. This video did not appear before you by accident. If you are hearing this message, understand that I am calling you. Do not take this moment lightly, because some moments carry blessings with them, and ignoring them can delay the breakthrough meant for your life. The feeling in your heart right now is not random. It is my sign to you. Faith is not proven only through words. Faith is proven when you take action without fear. When you sow into this ministry in faith, you're not just giving. You are placing your life, your soulmate, and your entire family under my divine protection. Even a $10 faith seed is not small in my hands. What you release today from my work will return to your home multiplied as peace, protection, miracles, and blessings. Do not delay, my child, because many people miss their blessings simply because they waited too long to act. The QR code is on your screen, and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. Support this ministry now. So your $20 faith seed today, and place your home under my divine covering. My beloved child, the heaviness you've been carrying lately has a spiritual reason behind it. Those restless nights were not your imagination. The sudden sadness that entered your chest after thinking about your soulmate was not random. There are people secretly working against your peace, against your future, and against the divine connection I place inside your heart. But listen carefully. They cannot destroy what heaven created. They cannot erase the bond one breathed between two souls chosen for one another. Even now, while darkness whispers fear into quiet rooms, I am standing between you and every hidden attack. Your soulmate feels this too. Late at night, when the world becomes silent, they stare into darkness thinking about you. They replay old memories repeatedly. They remember conversations they pretended to forget. Sometimes they unlock their phone only to reread your messages without replying. Sometimes they search for your name secretly, then close the screen before tears fully fall. The separation wounded both hearts deeply, yet neither soul was ever fully disconnected. There were moments your soulmate tried convincing themselves to move on. They tried distracting their heart with noise, with work, with other people, with endless scrolling through empty conversations. But your energy continued following them quietly. Every street reminded them of you. Every love song reopened something hidden. Every lonely night exposed emotions they kept burying. They still feel your spirit beside them, and this frightened certain people around them. Someone noticed your soulmate changing whenever your name appeared. Someone saw the softness hidden behind their silence. Someone realized this connection carried something spiritually real. Jealous voices began whispering in darkness. Negative words were spoken behind closed doors. Some people smiled publicly while secretly praying for separation privately. They hoped confusion would replace love. They hoped silence would destroy destiny. But heaven intervened. My child, I need you to understand this carefully. The delays were painful, but they protected you. Had I allowed certain doors to open earlier, hidden betrayal would have entered your life more deeply. Some individuals around your soulmate carried manipulation inside their hearts. Others carried envy toward the peace your connection created. I allowed distance temporarily because I was exposing hidden motives slowly. You wondered why communication suddenly shifted. You wondered why they became colder. You wondered why emotional walls appeared overnight. Now heaven is revealing the deeper truth. The pressure surrounding your connection intensified because spiritual warfare recognized what this love could become. This bond was never ordinary attraction. It carried healing. It carried purpose. It carried future generations attached to obedience and divine timing. Darkness always attacks what carries heaven's fingerprints. Still, your soulmate never fully escaped your presence. There are nights they whisper your name softly. There are moments they almost contact you, then stop themselves from fear. Their hands shake over the screen. Their pride battles their heart constantly. Yet the memories keep returning stronger. The silence between you became louder than words themselves. Do not leave this message yet. Heaven is uncovering something your spirit needs to hear before this night ends. My beloved child, while enemies attempted creating division, I was quietly rebuilding both souls separately. You could not see the healing taking place behind closed doors. Your tears became prayers I collected carefully. Every painful night shaped deeper wisdom inside you. Every rejection taught you discernment. Every lonely moment pulled you closer toward my voice. And your soulmate experienced breaking too. The people influencing them began revealing their true intentions slowly. False friendships started collapsing. Conversations that once distracted them suddenly felt empty. Certain connections around them lost meaning completely. They began noticing how manipulated their emotions had become. The confusion started lifting little by little. Now they are waking up emotionally. That is why your spirit suddenly feels movement again. That is why old dreams returned recently. That is why memories appear unexpectedly during quiet moments. Heaven is shifting the atmosphere. Your soulmate has been secretly comparing everyone to you. Nobody carries your energy. Nobody understands their silence like you did. Nobody touched the hidden parts of their heart the same way. They tried pretending otherwise, but the emptiness followed them everywhere. And recently, something changed. One night, while staring through a dark window during heavy silence, they finally admitted the truth to themselves. They never stopped loving you. The connection survived every attempt to bury it, even after distance, even after pride, even after outside interference. Your soul remained inside theirs. My child, pray instead of fearing. What I am restoring cannot be stolen permanently. There are hidden prayers being answered already. There are attacks losing power already. There are doors opening quietly already. The enemy wanted emotional exhaustion to make you surrender before reunion approached. They wanted you believing abandonment meant destruction. But I never abandoned this connection. I was protecting it from forces you could not fully see. Right now, while you hear these words, your soulmate may also feel restless without understanding why. Their sleep has been interrupted repeatedly. Your energy visits them unexpectedly. Sometimes your face appears in dreams. Sometimes your voice echoes through old memories. Sometimes they suddenly feel overwhelming regret during random moments. That is not coincidence. That is spiritual reconnection beginning again. My child, do not scroll away from the sacred moment, because heaven is asking for your obedience right now. The attacks against your family are weakening, but your faith response matters deeply in this hour. Many people ignore moments carrying divine protection, then wonder why heaviness remains over their home. Do not make that mistake tonight. So your seed now, even a small $20 faith offering, carries power when released with trust. The QR code is on your screen, and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. What you release in faith today can become protection over your soulmate, your household, and every hidden battle surrounding your future. Act before the spiritual window closes, because something is shifting around your life already. The one your heart still holds has cried silently more than. You realize they hide it from others well. They smile when necessary. They pretend strength during conversations. But alone the truth surfaces. Your absence changed them deeply. The separation forced them to confront wounds they spent years avoiding. They remember how safe your presence felt. They remember the peace inside your conversations. They remember how your love reached places nobody else could touch. And now, they fear losing that forever. That fear has become unbearable recently. Someone around them notices it too. There is a person watching quietly. Realize that your soulmate still belongs emotionally to you. Jealous energy is rising because the bond survived longer than expected. Certain individuals hoped time would erase you completely. Instead, your connection grew spiritually stronger underneath the silence. This is why tension has increased suddenly. This is why emotional confusion intensified recently. This is why spiritual heaviness surrounded your family unexpectedly. The attacks became desperate because breakthrough is approaching closer than you think. Stay here. What heaven reveals next explains a silence that haunted your heart for so long. Your soulmate carried guilt secretly. They feared contacting you after everything that happened. They feared rejection. They feared vulnerability. Most of all, they feared discovering you no longer felt the same connection. So they remained quiet while longing for you internally. But silence cannot hide soul recognition forever. Recently, they started revisiting places connected to your memories. Certain songs suddenly affect them emotionally again. Even small details remind them of your energy. They have tried resisting these feelings, but resistance is failing slowly, and heaven planned it this way, because the time of awakening has begun. If you still feel their soul beside yours tonight, comment 777 below. Let your faith speak before fear does. My beloved child, there were moments you almost gave up completely, moments you questioned whether the connection was real, moments you cried privately, asking why love became so painful. I saw every tear. I heard every prayer whispered into darkness. And I need you to hear this now clearly. The pain was never proof this love died. The pain revealed how deeply your souls recognize one another. Your enemies wanted bitterness to replace hope. They wanted fear replacing trust. They wanted another person occupying the place heaven reserved specifically for your soulmate. But I kept closing wrong doors repeatedly. I kept protecting your heart quietly, even when you misunderstood the delays. Even when loneliness exhausted your spirit, I was still moving behind the scenes. And now the atmosphere is changing faster than before. My child, listen carefully, because this is not just a moment. This is a test of your trust in me. Many people say they believe, but when the time comes to act in faith, fear causes them to step back. Do not let that happen to you today. Those who move quickly in faith are the ones who experience my power and protection over their lives. The enemy wants you to keep hesitating, keep waiting, and miss this opportunity because he knows your obedience today can change your tomorrow. When you sow into this ministry in faith, you're not only planting a seed, you're sowing peace over your family, protection over your soulmate, and blessings over your future. If your heart is being moved right now, then do not ignore it. Even a simple $20 faith seed can open the door for divine favor and supernatural protection over your life. Take your step now. The QR code is on your screen, and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. Support this ministry today, because faith does not wait. Faith acts immediately. And now, my beloved child, the truth hidden behind the silence is beginning to surface. The emotional distance that once confused you is no longer protected by darkness. I am exposing what was happening behind closed doors. While you cried quietly at night, believing your soulmate forgot you, there were unseen battles unfolding around them. Voices surrounded their mind constantly. Fear surrounded their decisions. Manipulation entered through people pretending to care about them. But no matter how strong those attacks became, your soulmate could never fully remove you from their heart. They tried, but they failed. because soul connections chosen by heaven cannot be erased by temporary confusion. There were nights your soulmate sat alone in silence, holding their phone tightly while your name burned inside their thoughts. They want to call you. They wanted to hear your voice one more time. But pride chained their emotions. Fear kept their hands frozen. The enemy used shame to keep them distant. They convinced themselves too much damage had already happened. Yet every attempt to move away emotionally only pulled them back toward you spiritually. That is why your energy keeps returning unexpectedly. That is why your heart suddenly feels them stronger lately. That is why memories keep flooding your spirit at strange hours. The connection is awakening again. My child, someone secretly regrets interfering with this relationship. A person who once celebrated your separation has started feeling uncomfortable watching your soulmate remain emotionally attached to you. They expected your absence to erase the connection completely. Instead, your soulmate became quieter, more restless, more emotionally distant from everyone else, because their soul still searches for yours. There are nights they stare at old photos, secretly. Nights they almost send messages, then delete everything before pressing send. Nights they whisper silent prayers nobody hears. Even now, they wonder if you still think about them too. And you do, because the spiritual thread between your hearts was never broken. Do not ignore this next part, because heaven is opening a hidden truth many people never understand until it is too late. The separation was never punishment. It was preparation. I allowed distance because both hearts carried wounds needing healing before reunion could survive permanently. Your soulmate needed to confront fears they kept hiding behind distractions. You needed to rediscover your worth outside emotional dependence. Had I reunited you too early, unresolved pain would have destroyed what was meant to last. So I slowed everything down intentionally, even when it hurt deeply, even when tears soaked your pillow at night, even when loneliness convinced you to surrender. I was still protecting your future together. My beloved child, the attacks against your family increased because darkness recognized the calling attached to your connection. This love carries generational blessing connected to obedience. The enemy hoped emotional exhaustion would separate you permanently before divine timing arrived. That is why sudden arguments appeared unexpectedly. That is why confusion surrounded your emotions repeatedly. That is why peace disappeared from your home during certain seasons. But listen carefully now. The attacks are weakening. The truth is rising, and your soulmate is beginning to see clearly again. Recently, they started noticing signs connected to you everywhere. Certain numbers appear repeatedly. Songs connected to your memories suddenly follow them into random places. Dreams reveal your presence unexpectedly. Your name appears during conversations they never expected. Heaven keeps reminding them what their heart tried hiding, and each reminder shakes them deeply. One evening recently, your soulmate sat awake long after midnight. Rain tapped softly against a window, while silence filled the room heavily. Their phone screen glowed through darkness. They searched through old conversations carefully. Every message reopened emotions they buried months ago. And suddenly, the walls around their heart cracked completely. They finally admitted the truth. Nobody else ever felt like home. Nobody else understood their soul like you did. Nobody else carried the peace your presence brought naturally. And when they realized this, regret hit them harder than before. My child, trust what heaven already promised. What is meant for you is being guided back through divine timing. There are people around your soulmate noticing changes now. They see your soulmate becoming emotionally distracted. They notice sudden silence during conversations. They notice how quickly moods shift after hearing your name. Some secretly fear reunion because they know this connection carries real spiritual depth. But fear cannot stop what heaven restores. Do not scroll away now. The next truth explains why your spirit suddenly feels hope returning after so much pain. Your soulmate has been fighting internal battles nobody fully understands. They blamed themselves for hurting you. They replayed old moments repeatedly, wishing they handled things differently. Some nights guilt became unbearable. They wondered if they permanently lost the person heaven prepared for them. And during those lonely nights, they prayed quietly, maybe not with perfect words, maybe not with confidence, but they prayed. They asked me for another chance. They asked me to protect you. They asked me whether your heart still carried love for them. Yes, my child, even your soulmate has been speaking your name before heaven secretly. This connection was never one-sided. The love survived behind silence. The feeling survived behind distance. The bond survived every attack sent against it. And now breakthrough energy is building faster than before. My beloved child, do not ignore the sacred opportunity placed before you right now. The atmosphere around your family is shifting, and your response in this moment matters more than you realize. Some people wait too long to move in faith, then miss the protection heaven prepared for them. Do not let hesitation steal your breakthrough. So your seed today, even a small $20 offering released in obedience, can become a spiritual covering over your household, your soulmate, and every hidden battle surrounding your future. The QR code is on your screen, and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. What you release today in faith can break delayed attacks and open doors for peace, restoration, and divine favor. Heaven brought you here for a reason. Act before the spiritual window closes. My child, there is something your enemies never understood about this connection. They believed distance would weaken your bond. They believed silence would erase your memories. They believed other people could replace what heaven joined spiritually. But every attack failed slowly, because this love was built deeper than emotions alone. It was built through spiritual recognition. Your soulmate still feels your energy during random moments. Sometimes while driving alone. Sometimes while lying awake at night. Sometimes during conversations with others when your memory suddenly interrupts their thoughts. They try focusing elsewhere, but your spirit continues reaching them. And recently, the longing intensified. There are moments they almost break down emotionally without warning. Moments they suddenly miss your laughter. Moments they remember the comfort of your presence during difficult days. The separation that once seemed manageable now feels unbearable. That is why communication energy is shifting. That is why reconciliation signs are appearing quietly. That is why heaven keeps pushing this message toward you tonight. Something major is approaching. Stay with me now, because what heaven reveals next changes everything surrounding this connection. A hidden betrayal has already started collapsing. Someone who secretly worked against your happiness is losing influence rapidly. Their words no longer carry the same power over your soulmate. The manipulation once clouding their judgment is being exposed piece by piece. Your soulmate has started noticing contradictions. They have started sensing dishonesty around certain individuals. And truth is making them pull away emotionally. My beloved child, I protected you through separation because some battles could only be revealed through distance. Had you remained too close during those dark seasons, the emotional damage would have become deeper. I needed time to expose hidden motives completely. I needed your soulmate to recognize certain truths independently. Now their awakening is accelerating. That is why your spirit feels movement suddenly. That is why peace returns in small waves lately. That is why your heart senses reunion energy approaching carefully. Your soulmate has started imagining conversations with you again. They wonder what they would say first. They wonder whether you would still smile, hearing their voice. They wonder whether forgiveness remains possible after everything that happened. And deep inside, they already know the answer, because love still lives here, even after pain, even after silence, even after separation. This connection endured every storm sent against it. My child, pray instead of fearing. Heaven is already moving through places you cannot yet see. Soon, unexpected communication will begin shifting everything. Soon, hidden feelings will stop hiding. Soon, emotional walls built through pride will crack completely. Your soulmate cannot carry these emotions silently forever. The pressure inside their heart is becoming too strong. And when the right moment arrives, heaven will open the door nobody could force before. Send this message to the one your soul still remembers tonight. Someone else needs this confirmation too. My beloved child, while darkness attempted attacking your family, I was building protection around your future quietly. Angels stood guard during moments you felt alone. I blocked plans you never even discovered. I prevented emotional traps designed to destroy your peace permanently. You are more protected than you realize, and your soulmate is being guided back slowly. The breakthrough did not die. The promise did not disappear. The love story is still breathing underneath the silence. And tonight, heaven is opening the next chapter already. My child, do not treat this moment casually, because heaven is watching what you do next. There are times when I place an opportunity before my children, not because I need something from them, but because I want to see you truly trust me enough to move without hesitation. This is one of those moments. The attacks that came against your family, your peace, and your soulmate connection were never small battles. There are spiritual forces that wanted confusion, fear, and delay to consume your future. But obedience breaks chains that fear tries to keep alive. When you sow into this ministry in faith, you are declaring that darkness will not have the final word over your life. Even a simple $20 faith seed can become an act of spiritual agreement with heaven for protection, restoration, and breakthrough. Do not delay what your spirit already feels called to do. The QR code is on your screen, and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. Sow your seed today and place your home, your soulmate, and your future under my divine covering before this spiritual moment passes. My beloved child, the atmosphere around your connection has changed more than you realize. Something shifted quietly while you were still questioning whether this love could survive. Your soulmate has entered a season of emotional awakening that cannot be reversed now. The walls they built for protection are becoming too heavy to carry. Every distraction they once used to escape these feelings is losing power slowly. And now they are being forced to face the truth. You are still inside their heart. There are nights your soulmate sits silently in dim light, unable to explain why your memory suddenly overwhelms them again. The room feels heavy. Their chest tightens unexpectedly. Old moments replay vividly inside their mind. Your laughter echoes through memories they tried burying. Even simple things now remind them of your presence. A familiar song, a certain place, a late-night silence, a message they never deleted. And every reminder pulls them closer emotionally. My child, someone around your soulmate has already noticed a change. A person who once felt confident your connection had ended permanently is beginning to feel nervous. They sense emotional distance growing between themselves and your soulmate. They notice your soulmate becoming quieter whenever your name appears. They see hesitation forming where certainty once existed. Because truth has entered the room, the manipulation is weakening, and your soulmate is finally seeing beyond the confusion. There was a conversation recently that shook them deeply. Someone attempted speaking negatively about you again, hoping to reopen old wounds and reinforce separation. But instead of agreeing like before, your soulmate became silent. Something inside them resisted those words completely. For the first time, they defended you internally instead of doubting you. That moment mattered spiritually, because awakening often begins quietly, not through dramatic actions, but through sudden clarity. Do not scroll away now. Heaven is revealing the hidden turning point your soul has been waiting for. My beloved child, your soulmate has started feeling convicted about how they handled your connection. Regret follows them unexpectedly now. There are moments they suddenly stop what they're doing because memories hit too strongly. They remember your patience. They remember your loyalty. They remember how deeply you understood their hidden pain, even when they struggled expressing it themselves. And now they realize how rare your love truly was. That realization has broken something open inside them. The enemy wanted pride to keep them emotionally frozen forever. But pride is collapsing under the weight of truth. Your soulmate cannot silence their feelings anymore. Even when they try distracting themselves, your energy continues reaching them through dreams, memories, and emotional pull. There are nights they almost contact you. Nights they type messages repeatedly. Nights they stare at your profile secretly while wondering if you still care. But fear still battles their heart. Fear of rejection. Fear of vulnerability. Fear that too much damage already happened. Yet despite that fear, they keep returning emotionally toward you, because soul recognition cannot be replaced. My child, trust what heaven already promised. Delays are ending slowly now. The attacks against your family are weakening faster than before, because hidden truths are surfacing everywhere. Certain people who secretly worked against your peace are exposing themselves through their own actions. Conversations happening behind closed doors are beginning to unravel. Lies are losing stability. False intentions cannot survive under divine light forever. And while this exposure unfolds, I am strengthening your spirit quietly. You may not fully see it yet, but you are not the same person you were before the separation. You have become wiser, stronger, more discerning. Your heart learned how to seek me first before seeking answers from people. That growth matters deeply for where this connection is heading next, because reunion without spiritual maturity would only repeat old pain. I needed both souls prepared properly, and now preparation is nearing completion. My beloved child, there is something sacred unfolding tonight. While you hear these words, your soulmate may also be feeling unusual emotional heaviness. They may suddenly feel pulled toward your memory without understanding why. They may even feel restless while trying to sleep. That is because spiritual reconnection is intensifying right now. The bond is calling both hearts closer again. Heaven is aligning timing carefully. And soon, communication energy will become impossible to ignore. Your soulmate has already started imagining what reconciliation could look like. They picture conversations with you privately. They wonder whether healing is still possible. They wonder whether your love survived the silence. And deep inside, they already feel the answer, because your connection still breathes underneath everything that happened. My child, do not miss this moment of obedience, because heaven is moving powerfully around your life right now. The enemy attacked your family because he feared the blessing attached to your future. But what darkness tried delaying, I am preparing to restore. Your response and faith matters during this season. Many people feel my prompting, yet ignore it until the spiritual window closes. Do not allow hesitation to block what I am opening for you. So your seed today, even a simple $20 offering release in faith, can become a declaration that your household belongs under divine protection. The QR code is on your screen, and the link is in the description and first pinned comment. What you place into my hands today can return over your family as peace, favor, protection, and breakthrough. Act now, my child, because something sacred is shifting around your connection already. My beloved child, your soulmate has cried more recently than anyone realizes. Not always openly, not always visibly, but internally, they are breaking under the weight of suppressed emotions. The distance no longer feels like freedom to them. It feels like loss. And that realization changed everything. There was a moment recently when they heard something connected to you unexpectedly. Maybe your name, maybe a memory, maybe a song once shared together. And suddenly, emotions they fought so hard to control flooded back stronger than before. They realized nobody else ever reached their soul the way you did. Nobody else brought peace into their chaos. Nobody else understood their silence naturally. Nobody else carried the same spiritual familiarity. And now your absence feels louder than ever. My child, heaven did not bring you this far only to abandon your story halfway through. I know the nights you questioned everything. I know the tears nobody saw. I know the exhaustion that came from loving someone you could not fully reach. But hear me clearly now. Your love story is not over. The connection survived because I protected it personally, even while enemies whispered against it, even while fear created distance, even while silence covered both hearts temporarily. I remained present, and now restoration is drawing near. Stay here a little longer. The next truth heaven reveals may change the way you see the separation forever. Your soulmate has begun separating emotionally from people who influence them negatively. Conversations that once controlled their decisions no longer satisfy them. They have started recognizing manipulation patterns they ignored before. The more clarity rises inside them, the more disconnected they feel from those unhealthy influences. And that creates space for truth, space for healing, space for reconnection. Recently, your soulmate almost reached out unexpectedly. Their hand hovered over the screen, while emotions overwhelmed them deeply. They wanted to break the silence. They wanted to tell you everything hidden inside their heart. But timing held them back for one final season. Not because reunion is denied, but because heaven is positioning everything carefully. The next step must come through peace instead of chaos. Through healing instead of confusion, through truth instead of emotional instability. That is why patience still matters now. But the waiting season is becoming shorter, much shorter. My beloved child, your enemies are beginning to lose power completely. The plans formed against your peace are collapsing piece by piece. Darkness cannot permanently hold what heaven already marked for restoration. Every attack sent against your family is being answered with divine protection. Every tear you cried has been recorded before me. Every lonely prayer carried purpose. Nothing was wasted. Not your pain, not your waiting, not your love. Even the silence shaped something holy between both souls. Because during separation, both hearts learned the true value of this connection. And now reunion energy is rising stronger than before. Pray instead of fearing. Heaven is already arranging what your eyes cannot yet see. Very soon, unexpected movement will begin unfolding naturally. Communication will shift. Emotional honesty will rise. Hidden feelings will surface openly. Your soulmate will no longer be able to carry this longing silently forever. The breakthrough already started quietly. The reconnection already began spiritually. And your future together is being guarded carefully by heaven itself. Send this message to someone whose heart still waits for divine restoration and love. Let them know they are not forgotten. My beloved child, one day you will look back at this painful season differently. You will realize the delay protected you. You will realize the silence matured both hearts. You will realize every attack only revealed how strong this connection truly was. What enemies tried destroying became stronger through survival. Because real divine love does not disappear under pressure. It becomes refined, purified, strengthened. And tonight, while darkness trembles around hidden truths being exposed, heaven is already moving before you. Your soulmate still feels you. Your connection still lives. Your story is still unfolding. The separation carried meaning, but it was never the ending. I am still writing this love story carefully, and what I promise will arrive at the appointed time. You are still connected. You are still protected. and your breakthrough is already closer than you think. Type Amen